Good morning, everybody. We are live here from the birdhouse, and we are definitely heading into spring. It's starting to feel a lot like spring, and it's starting to sound a lot like spring. All the birds are calling, they're singing, and they're starting early. I heard them singing very, very early the other morning, around 5:30 in the morning or so. So they are looking for mates. So today we're giving you an update about some of the different birds people are seeing, an update on hummingbirds, orioles, and as always, if you have any kind of comments or if you have any interesting sightings or any sightings at all, we'd love to know what those are. Throw those in the comments, absolutely. If you have questions, you can put those in there too, or you can just say hi. And especially if you've had any kind of spring migrants in the yard. We've heard some stories of some song sparrows in the yard and some things like towhees and things. So if you have any reports, absolutely throw those in the comments. So we've got a little bit of an update for you today. But we have a lot going on at the birdhouse today, too. The first thing being we have Wild Wings here today. So Wild Wings is here from 10 till 3. And all week long, we've been celebrating our 30th anniversary. So it's our 30th year in business. And all week long, we've had a different nonprofit in the store each day, and 10% of all that day's sales go to that nonprofit. Today, it is Wild Wings. So today is the last day that we are doing this. So Wild Wings are the last nonprofit we have coming in. And so 10% of all of today's sales go right to Wild Wings. So they're in the store today from 10 till 3, but every purchase that's made throughout the whole day will go to 10% will go to Wild Wings. So we're open till 6 o'clock. And yes, this does also include online sales as well. So if you're unable to get into the store today, you can always order online and that will be counted as part of this donation. So Wild Wings in store today, 10 till 3. We also have a plant sale going on outside the store. And that's going on until 3-4 o'clock or so. And so that's always a lot of fun. And as part of our 30th anniversary, we are still taking tickets for the raffle. We're still giving out tickets, I guess I should say, for the raffle. So this is no purchase necessary. We have thousands of dollars of products bundled together in different fun bundles. No purchase necessary to get tickets. And that this will go on for 2 more days. So we've got the raffle going on today and tomorrow. And then on Monday, we do the drawing for it. So you've got a couple more days to come in and get tickets. Every day you can come in and get 10 tickets. So you still have 2 days. So you could come in today, come in tomorrow to get your tickets and to enter in the raffle. So that is still going on and that ends tomorrow. So that ends on Sunday. So you still have a little bit of time to enter into that too. So we've got all kinds of stuff going on here today. We've got Wild Wings here with their birds. We've got the plant sale going on, and we have the raffle, which is still taking place. So lots of stuff going on today. But the question we've been getting a lot is, when are the Orioles coming? And so I pulled up a map on eBird to kind of show you where they are. They are making their way back into the area. So you can see they're kind of going up the East Coast. There's been some seen in Cleveland. There's even been a sighting in upstate New York here as well. So they are on their way. And yesterday when I posted on our Facebook page to get ready for Orioles, make sure you got your feeders up, make sure you've got all your feeder accessories and all that good stuff. We got a couple comments from customers who have had some Oriole activity in their yards already. So it's a little early, but that's the thing. Sometimes there are a few that come in a little bit early. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they're just, continuing their migration. But now is absolutely the time to get your feeders up. So you want to make sure you got your feeders, you got your jelly. I'll show you all that kind of stuff that they need as well. Patty commented with this picture that said, I had one earlier this week. Made sure I put out jelly. Haven't seen since, but we'll keep putting it out. Getting some fresh oranges. So she's in East Bethany in Genesee County. So you can see there's a cardinal hanging out on a little seed log, it looks like. And then in the background, you can see that there is an Oriole there. So really exciting. And then Cami replied, I have a female on my feeder. So looks like it's a female is hanging out there on her Oriole feeder, which she has. So absolutely, you want to make sure you get your Oriole feeders out there. And we have so many different types to choose from. Really, the thing with Oriole feeders are you want to make sure there's some way that you can put jelly inside of them. So they love grape jelly. We sell something called birdberry jelly, which is a mix of grape and blackberry. You've probably tried some before in your Oriole feeders. We've carried that for years. And now we have a couple other types to choose from too. We also carry a nice grape bird jelly from the place that mixes all of our bird seed. And so that has been really popular. It's in a jar, not the squeeze bottle. So some people were indifferent to the squeeze bottle because it was hard to get all the last little pieces of the jelly out of there. So now we do have an option in a jar. So we have those here in stock for you to get ready for the Orioles. They of course like oranges as well. So you want to stop and get some oranges at the grocery store, but then they'll also drink nectar. Now, if you can only have a feeder that offers one of these things, the jelly is the way to go. But some Oriole feeders let you put the jelly, the oranges, and the nectar all on them at once. And if you do that, I love this Oriole nectar by a company called Sweet Seed. It has fruit extracts in it, so it's citrus infused. So the Orioles really, really like this. It seems like the Orioles really like the nectar earlier on in the season. Then they kind of will eat more mealworms, but absolutely, you probably want to put out all three when they're first starting to come in. So the key to attracting Orioles is to put that feeder out early, and hopefully they keep coming all season long. So on Tuesday, our broadcast will be all about attracting Orioles. So if you want some more tips and learn more about the different feeders and accessories that we have, that will be on Tuesday. We'll be talking about that on the broadcast here. So not far behind the Orioles are going to be the Hummingbirds. Usually they flow in about a week or so after. So whereas next week we'll probably start to hear a lot of reports on Orioles coming back to feeders, Hummingbirds are probably going to be about the first week of May or so is when we really start hearing more and more reports of them coming back to the area. So you still have a little bit of time, but they are on their way. So this is the map of hummingbird sightings from just this year. So you can see that they're kind of following that same path going up the East Coast. And there's some also in Cleveland. So they're making their way back. They'll be here soon. It's mason bee time. This is the time of year where the mason bees start to emerge. So you want to make sure you've got your mason bee house out. If you're trying to attract mason bees, now is absolutely the time to get a house so they have some place to go inside and lay their eggs and continue their whole life cycle for years to come. So now is absolutely the time to make sure your mason bee house is out. They're not out for very long. The bees aren't out for very long. They're only out for 6 to 8 weeks or so. So you don't want to miss the time frame of having your mason bee house out. So now's the time to have that out as well. And it's nesting season. We're hearing so many reports of different birds flying around with nesting material in their bill. I've noticed my fluffy nesting ball that I have in my backyard is getting a lot of attention from different birds. And the birds are starting the whole nesting process. One of the earliest birds to do this is the bluebird. And this picture was sent in to us yesterday by Bob, who said the first bluebird egg of the year was laid today, Friday the 19th. So the bluebirds are definitely starting that nesting process. There are eggs in that are coming that are in the house that Bob has. There's eggs in the nest. So it's a really exciting time of the year. We're hearing reports of chickadees checking out nesting boxes. And also this picture was sent in by Mark of a northern flicker. It says northern flicker working on its nest at the Erie Canal Lock 32. So you can see this flicker has a bill full of wood chips that it's spitting out. It looks like it's excavating a nest site. So it's really fun time of the year. And you never know what'll show up in the backyard. This picture was sent in to us by Mary Lynn, who says, new bird to my yard. Merlin app says it's an eastern towhee, and yes, it is. So eastern towhees are in the sparrow family. They will come to feeders here and there. You're probably most likely to see them underneath the feeders on the ground. They tend to clean up off the ground when they are feeding, but this is a male. The females aren't as black. They're a little bit lighter, almost a brownish color, where this bird is black. And so they are coming in through the area. Really exciting. And then the other thing to be on the lookout for at your feeders are going to be rose-breasted grosbeak. And they are, you'll probably see them before or around the same time as your first Oriole. So they're coming back into the area as well. The male have that bright red patch on their breast. They're black and white. And the female is same size. She has a nice big bill, but she's brown. She's got that bold white stripe above her eye. But both of them will come to feeders, and they like the same kind of seeds as cardinals do. So if you have any kind of a feeder that the cardinals are coming to, you'll probably have success with getting a rose-breasted grosbeak. They like sunflower seeds. They like the shelled sunflower. They like safflower seed. So any of those are a great way to attract the grosbeaks. The last time I had them in any kind of large numbers in my yard, they were all eating the safflower seed. They really, really loved that. So I'll show you what the safflower seed looks like too. And then red-winged blackbirds. The males have been around for a while. Females are starting to come back. They're starting the whole nesting process. This is the female on the right-hand side. She looks very, very different than the male. So you might see them at your feeders also as they're rolling into the area. If you've got a lot of blackbirds and you're trying to keep the swarms at bay, if you will, if you've got a lot of the red-winged blackbirds or the grackles or even starlings, which tend to get grouped in with the blackbirds, none of them will like the safflower seed. They really don't eat this safflower seed. So that's one thing you can put out to try to attract things like cardinals, the rose-breasted grosbeak, chickadees, but the big blackbirds like grackles will not eat it. So that's one seed you can put out to kind of spread things out a little bit more. If certain birds are eating all your seed and not leaving some for the others, try some safflower seed. I'm definitely putting out a bunch of that today because that's what I know the rose-breasted grosbeaks really like. And just this morning, we got a report from somebody locally that had an American woodcock in their backyard who was bobbing its head and almost doing their little dance that they tend to do. So just goes to show you never know what you might see in your yard, especially if you're by the woods or woods with a nice clearing nearby. American woodcock are definitely around. They're a type of shorebird, but they hang out in the woods and they blend in super, super well. So you could be hiking through the woods and walk right past one and have no idea because they are just so, so good at camouflage. But that's everything I have for you guys today. Kind of a brief update because we do have so much going on at the store today. Like I said, 10% of all today's sales in person and online will go right to Wild Wings. So that's really fun. We've been doing this all week long. So we've had some pretty great donations that we've been able to dish out to local conservation organizations. So thank you guys all for coming in this week. And we have our raffle going on for 2 more days. So both Saturday and Sunday, you can come in. No purchase necessary. Get 10 raffle tickets and enter to win so many different prizes. We have 32 different bundles of items. Some are valued at over $200 a piece. So lots and lots of good stuff there for raffle. Looks like Bob has a comment. He says, good morning. Had a hermit thrush under the bird bath, which was a first for me. Still seeing song sparrows under the feeder along with chipping sparrows. Quite a few purple finches, mostly female, but a few males as well. And of course, a lot of goldfinches and pine siskins. The female bluebird laid their first egg yesterday, yay. Also have a robin's nest in the backyard high up in a poplar tree. So it's an exciting time of the year with all this diversity coming through the backyard. Make sure you've got all your bird houses out and they're cleaned out, that there's nothing in there from last year because the birds are absolutely looking for nesting sites. If you see that there's some birds kind of fighting over different nesting cavities, that does happen. You can always add more houses to alleviate some of that. But be on the lookout for the Orioles, and Hummingbirds are going to be a little bit further behind them, but not by a lot. And rose-breasted grosbeaks, keep an eye on your feeders this weekend because there's been some reports of them, more so than the Orioles in the area. So any day now we'll start to hear more reports of them coming through. So keep an eye out, keep us posted on what you're seeing, keep your cameras nearby so you can snap a picture and send it in to us. We appreciate you guys sending in all the photos that you do. And we'll be back on Tuesday with a class about the Orioles to talk more about them and how you can attract them to your yard. So have a great weekend. Hope to see you this weekend at the store. And you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.